So what's going on, social media mechanics, tool groupies? I am the Backwoods Mechanic of the Backwoods Hippie Garage, and today we got a tool review for you, and it is going to be the second time that this company has had something on top of the toolbox that I've done a review about, and it is the Nebo or Nebo company, however you want to pronounce it. I like to say Finding Nebo. Now this is the Slyde King. It is a series of flashlights that they've got in their Redline series, and today we're going to be talking about the first generation Slyde King, which is this particular flashlight right here. As you can see, it's got the red line that symbolizes the red line series that they've got in the Slyde King flashlights here. And I do not want you all to take what I'm saying as the actual tool review itself. I would prefer that you take the actual experience of this flashlight for the tool review itself. Because I don't get paid to do this, I do not get given any products to do a tool review about. Everything I do a review about is because I have used it, I have had experience with it, or I have purchased it with my own money. I have not been given anything, so this is 100% unbiased. This is my personal flashlight. I bought it a year and a half ago, and it stays in my truck at all times. Anytime I need it, I got it. Now, this one over here, on the other hand, as you can tell the difference in the two, this one I bought 2 years ago. So this one is 6 months newer than this one. This one's 2 years, this one's a year and a half. And you can tell the big difference in the quality of the actual flashlight on the outside. This one is my work flashlight. It's actually the very first Nebo flashlight I ever purchased. And I purchased it and took it to work because the boss, well, quite frankly, we need flashlights at our job site. And we have to go buy batteries and buy batteries and buy batteries and all that good stuff. And the boss cries and you get frustrated and all that. And I just got sick and tired of it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go buy me a flashlight, I'm going to spend some money on it, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money on it, because it's going to be something I had to take out of my own pocket for work. And I decided to pick this thing up from my local CarQuest for right at $40. And I tell you what, it is still here, it is still usable. You can tell that it has been used. You can see the dings on it. You can see that it has been dropped several different times. You can see the scratches. You can see the wear and tear. You can tell the difference because the whole paint scheme, basically, the whole paint scheme is a completely different color from something that I keep in my personal truck at all times to something I use every single day in an industrial environment. I have used this for doing carpentry work, crawling up and under buildings, doing plumbing work. I have used it for welding work. I have used it for mechanic work. Everything you can imagine. I have dropped this thing off of letters, and the most impressive thing about this flashlight is this. I hadn't had this thing 6 months. Alright? Right at 6 months. Whenever I dropped it, I put it on a forklift and I went upstairs around the building to get a pallet off of a supply truck. And on my way back downstairs, I realized that this flashlight was laying on the ground, and a coworker had went downstairs to load up his cargo van for delivery, and he run over top of my flashlight on the way down and on the way out of the parking garage. So guess what? This part right here was cocked sideways right here. It was turned sideways, and I was like, oh no, my flashlight's done, it's broke, I'm over. You know, I'm going to have to go get another one. This sucks, man. I picked it up, turned it on, and guess what? It still worked. It absolutely bum-puzzled me, the fact that it worked. So you know what I did? I took it into the shop, I set it down, and I tried to force everything back straight, and it still works to this day. As soon as I seen how durable that thing was, when it got run over by a van, I went and purchased a second one, just in case this one stopped working. And here it is. Here it is, 2 years later, and this thing is still working perfectly fine. Not a thing wrong with it. So whenever I'm talking to you about actual personal experience, the durability of this thing, for $40, getting run over, getting dropped, getting banged up 1,000 different times over a 2-year period of time, and it still works. I've never had to replace a battery. I am very impressed, and that is exactly why I've got one of these right here in my truck. I've got one in my wife's van, and I've got 2 of them at home that I use frequently. And I've also got some of their other series, which I'll be doing a review about here soon. But these flashlights are amazing. Now the flashlight itself weighs 0.8 pounds. It is exactly 6.875 compact as you see on the right, and it is 9 inches extended as you see on the left. The actual heads of these flashlights are 1.75 inches round, and the barrel is 1.25 inches round, and they have a magnetic removable base here on the bottom. So you can remove it, and if you're somebody who is a sensitive spot where you don't need a magnet touching onto what you got, you can remove it. And this thing still works perfectly fine. It still has the sliding capabilities. As you can see, it is fully functioning without the magnetic base, and it still works just fine. Now, of course, one of the wonderful things about this flashlight is you can take all of this stuff apart, and you can actually take your lens out and you can clean it. You can clean around the edges, you can keep it nice, you can keep it functioning. Right there is the LED. And all you got to do on the back side is unscrew this to get the lithium ion battery out of the housing. Now, these batteries take about 3 to 4 hours for a full charge, and they are replaceable. I have never replaced this one in the 2-year time that I've had it, but you can pick up the batteries for $5.99 on the Nebo Tools website, and they are item number 6434BAT. It is a 3.7 volt battery, type 18650. And the first generation light, product number 6434. These actually come with a USB charger, which is basically an Android charger, and it's about 6 inches long. So you got to have something pretty close whenever you charge it, or you can just use a regular cell phone charger you can pick up anywhere in any size and charge your flashlights. This little rubber piece pops up, and right there is your Android charger. That's where you plug it in at, and this will glow red whenever it is charging, and whenever it gets to a full charge, it will glow a bright blue. That is the one downfall with this light, I will say though, is that little rubber piece right there is not very durable, it's not very sturdy. And these things right here, just like a cell phone, if you don't charge it right, you don't set it up right, it will wiggle loose and it will give you a problem charging the actual light. With this particular light, giving the hell I have put it through, it still charges, but I had to put the charger cord in it and lay it on its side so it pushes up on it so it'll have a full charge the next morning when I go into work. So for the Nebo Tool Company, if you're watching, I suggest you put something similar to this particular flashlight around the actual charging port to where you can pull it down and put the charger in it, or you can turn it to the side, and it would help protect the actual charging port and it would keep it from breaking. But you could hook something like that up right here to where you turn it to the left, turn it to the right, lock it in, lock it out, and actually put that in there. That would make a great improvement to these line of flashlights. But so far, that is the only major downfall of this particular issue on the bag. It does also have this, what is called a tactical edge on it. It's got a convex lens on it, and the body is made out of aircraft grade aluminum. So it makes it impact resistant and water resistant, and as you can tell, it is definitely impact resistant. Very, very durable. 10 out of 10 in my book. And that's saying something for a product that is unfortunately made in China instead of the USA, but it is a really good quality flashlight. Now for the first generation, the only other thing that I've seen people complaining about is the fact that the button, as it sticks out, as you can tell right there, sticks out away from the body. So if you put it in your pocket or something, it's going to easily turn on. It's really really sensitive to being touched, and it could run the battery down if you don't notice it and all that good stuff. So people have complained on that. People have also complained with online reviews, and it's like a 4.7 online, which it should be honestly a 4.8, 4.9, because some of the one-star reviews that you find online is not it's not a matter of the product being at fault. It's a matter of the customer being at fault for not knowing how to read the instruction manual and figure out how this particular light is supposed to work, because it has a memory setting. It's built with a memory setting, and that means that you can turn it on and turn it off, and it will stay at the same lumens that you left it on or off at whenever you re-engage the on or off button. Some of the other complaints about this particular flashlight is people saying that whenever they've got it, that it would just blink on or off, and it just wouldn't charge good, and la-di-da, and sometimes it's because they don't actually charge it up the way it's supposed to, make sure everything's put in the correct positions when they charge it. But the other time is somebody just has not read the instruction manual. They'll tell you online, they'll say, I turned this thing on after charging it for 2 days and it blinks twice and goes off. And then I keep hitting the button and it blinks twice and goes off. That is not the light malfunctioning. It is a feature of the actual light. Just as you can see here, I will hit the button. That's what they're talking about. Every time they charge it, it won't come on. It just blinks after they've charged it all day. Here's the thing. If the battery goes dead and it starts going dead about 10%, your light will kick off. You can turn it back on. You can continue using it for a little bit, but it's going to inevitably kick back off. It's letting you know that the battery is at 10%. But this particular feature, it's locked. Hold the button for 5 seconds and it'll blink twice. And then that means it's ready to engage. It's ready to come on and it works perfectly fine. Now, if you want to lock it, all you do is turn it off and you hold the button for another 5 seconds and it will blink twice and the flashlight is locked. That way, if you put it in your pocket and you bump the light, unless you were sitting on it, holding it for 5 seconds, it is not going to come back on. It's not going to run your battery down because it's an actual feature of this particular light. And this thing has also got 4 times the adjustable zoom. So you can get a nice little spotlight at something you're looking at, or you can widen it back out, and there you go. And here's the cool feature of this. It has a dimmable setting. You hold the button down, you hold it down, and the light will dim. And it will re-engage and go right back up to the brightest setting again, and then it will continue to go right back down to the lower setting. So if you actually want your battery life to last, you're broke down beside the road somewhere, you know it's going to take you about an hour and a half, you know you got to walk, you know you got to do something, you can actually adjust this down by holding the button, and it will lower the lumens on it, and it will make your battery life last a little bit longer. Then again, if you want to be able to hop out and see something, you need it to be really bright, then you can always just hold it and adjust it right back up to the maximum setting, and you are good to go again. Now on the brightest setting, you are going to be getting 330 lumens. And then whenever you open up your Slyde light, your actual C.O.B work light, you're getting 250 lumens. Here's another feature it has. Red light, aka night vision. If you're a hunter, if you're stuck beside the road, 40 lumen. And it has something else. You can stick the magnetic base on the hood or the trunk of your car, press it again, and it puts off a red SOS signal so that you can alert people of an accident, you can alert people of a problem, and you can get some type of help. Of course, the 330 lumens isn't going to last long. It's going to last you about 2.5 hours. And if you put it on the red setting, the night vision setting, then it's going to last about 18 hours, just depending on your circumstance, how often you use it, how much it's charged, and all that good stuff. But I don't care who you are, whether you're a hunter, a fisher, a mechanic, a welder, a parent, you're going trick-or-treating with your kids, have yourself a light. You go to cross the road, put on the red flashlight. That way it flares the SOS signal. You can warn people when you're crossing the road with your kids. This thing has so many different benefits about it, and it's so durable that it is worth the $40 10 times over. The amount of money that somebody saves on battery life alone saves you enough in the long run to continue to buy more and more flashlights. That is why I have the flashlights that I've got now, because these things have saved me so much money not having to replace the batteries that I would be crazy to ever buy another flashlight that takes batteries again. And the kicker is, these things come usually with a warranty from the actual manufacturer. You cannot beat these flashlights. And this is the first generation flashlights. Given people's reviews, given product reviews, the second generation is out now, and I can't wait to pick one up and do a review on it and do the comparisons with it and see what they fix, see what's different and all that good stuff, and then give you all a heads up on that product. But if you could find these lights, if you can find them online, if somebody has them at a decent price, buy them. You will not regret it because they are really, really wonderful flashlights. Like I said, the durability alone has paid for itself. The fact that I've never had to replace a battery, and it's been 2 years now, and even if I did have to replace it, it'd just be $6 on the website. The link to these flashlights will be in the description.